Hi, how are you? So I was going through my journal. This is my Dilutions journal, just flipping through, and I found a page. It's a background, and when I find a nice bold background that I just left behind, for whatever reason, I don't even remember what was going on when I made it, but I'm sure glad I did. This tells me I want to do some magazine collage, so won't that be fun? Now, I did not want you to sit through fussy cutting. So I'll show you what I found. Now this is a girl, but this is not her head. This head is much bigger. And then I found this girl, but I put a guy head because I thought he fit good. And if do you see the theme? They both have these white glasses on. And I thought, well, how funny is that? And then I got this oil of Olay to tuck in his hand. Why oil of Olay? Well, now before you all come after me with what I'm about to say, hear me out. Oil of Olay you generally find at the grocery store, the drugstore, and this is from Vogue, where all these clothes and all this stuff is from, you know, very expensive, Yves Saint Laurent, Versace, those kinds of things. Well, I don't think the people that wear those clothes buy their cosmetics and face things for from the grocery store like I do. But listen, I get my face cream from Aldi. It's less than $4, and yet I saw the same brand on Amazon for 14. I was like, oh my word, I need to get a hold of these people. Okay. So then, and I found her, and I thought, well, isn't she clever? But then I found all these faces with the white glasses. And I thought, well, maybe I'll pick out one of these and replace her with that. What do you think? We'll see how it goes. I've got my glue book. I've got my glue stick. So let's get started with some fun. Oh, I thought this bird would just be clever to be watching over these high fashion folks. Okay, I tell you, I laugh every time I do these. Let's get this glued down, and then we're going to see where we're going to go from here. So I think the first thing I want to do is I want to glue the oil of Olay in the hand. So I obviously don't need oil of Olay completely filled with glue, so I'm just going to stick some glue right here and then tuck this in like that. I always like it when my magazine folks are doing a little something, carrying something, or, you know, just a little something. I don't know. I think it just helps kind of tell a little story, maybe. All right, so we've got him now. Let's get the bird down because I know the bird's going to go there. So let's get some glue on the bird. How are you doing? Have you done any magazine collages? I tell you, they're fun. So fun. Now, I harvested these and I cut them, fussy cut them out. But I didn't do a magazine harvest like you've seen me do where I go through the whole magazine because this is like a different mindset and I'm looking at the magazine with a different eye. So I just picked out the things I wanted. This is a super thin paper, super thin. I have to play with this a little bit. Okay, that you go there. And where do you go, bird, really? Yep, okay. You know, with these little fine things, just take your time. Don't be in a hurry. And it'll all work out. Okay. Bird down. Way to go. Okay, before I glue this one down, let's just see. Because I want her legs to line up. How's that? I think that's okay. But you know what? they need something to stand on. They're just floating. You know, I always go for realism in these things. Said nobody ever. I just can see this tail sticking up. Yeah, see, that's going to make me crazy. Get down, tail. Okay. Put the lid on here. So I want to make a little place for standing. So let's get this one back and kind of get in my mind. So starting about here to maybe here. Yeah, I think so. All right, well, Julie, get something to do it with. Get a little brown Posca here. So starting about there and ending about here. All right. So let's just make a little windy path here so that our person is not floating. And while I do this, you can let me know, what are you doing? I didn't hear you say if you're working in your journals. So let me know in the comments. It's night almost here. Well, I say it's night. It's like 5 o'clock in the evening. But here in Western Michigan, that means it's already getting pretty dark. But what I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I think that when it's like the 21st of December and today is the 6th of December, I think on the 21st, that might be the longest day. And then after that, they start to get shorter. I think that's how it goes. At least that's how it goes on my part of the planet. Let me know. I mean, I am so not swift with my geography and things. I don't know. Those of you who live in Australia and New Zealand and England, I don't know if those are the same kinds of things, or if because we're in a different spot in relation to the equator, does that make it different? I know I lived in Arizona. Now, Arizona is right above Mexico. If you can kind of picture that, it's north of Mexico. As a matter of fact, I was about 70 miles north of the Mexican border. I know the days and nights were not so dramatic. Like, even in the winter, there wasn't such a gap between like how many hours of daylight and how many hours of nighttime. Not like Michigan. And those of you that live in Canada, I would guess, here I go, guessing, but I would guess that it would be even worse than here, because you're closer to the North Pole than I am. I guess if you live in Windsor, some of the, near the Detroit area, I think part of Canada goes south of the US a little bit. Yeah, try to wrap your head around that. But yeah, I don't know how it all works in other parts of the world as far as day hours versus night hours. I mean, look, I know what, is it in Alaska? In the upper parts of Canada, where there's things like no daylight or no nighttime. It's all one. It's like daylight for 24 hours, or it's nighttime for 24 hours. So I know there's differences. But at least for me in Michigan, we are coming to a point where our days should not be quite so short and the nights so long. I like the sunshine. I mean, even though I'm not a sun worshiper, is anyone anymore? I mean, you know, they've got us so scared about things like skin cancer and stuff, which you know, So it's for real, but I like the sun. I lived in Arizona, so what we only had rain. Well, I don't know how many days it was, but I think it was only 10 inches a year or less. And that we seemed to get all during the monsoon season all at once, where every evening we had a major storm. I remember my swimming pool so full that it overflowed onto the patio, and you couldn't really tell if you were going to be walking on patio or falling into the pool, because it was so, there was just so much rain. And yet less than 10 inches for the year. A whole different way of life there, that's for sure. All right, now I know that that girl's legs are going to kind of come in here, but I can always add some more, right? So there's a little foot place for this one. So it doesn't look like just flying through the air. And then her. See, I'm trying to keep her elbow off of the seam. Okay. He can go this way a little bit. They don't need to be so crowded. All right, let's put him down. So, do you have your holiday shopping done? I think I'm finished as of today. There are things that I've ordered that haven't arrived yet, but I have no reason to believe they won't be here by Christmas. Good heavens, I hope. It's from Amazon and it's been ordered a week ago. And I got one part of my order, which was the only part that wasn't Christmas. There's one more. I ordered two of the same thing for myself. One came, one hasn't. So, all right. There we go with this one. And our little oil of Olay. Good. Fun. Okay, now this big girl. Can we get her all glued up and get her down in one piece? As I say, she's already two pieces because that's not her head. And this head is much bigger than it's supposed to be, but you know, that's the fun of it, right? I think it is. Magazine collaging is fun. Oh, I hear something tearing. It's fun. I like magazine collaging. Especially when you can pull it together enough that it kind of tells a story, or, you know, you can just kind of picture maybe in your mind a little bit of what's going on. Maybe. It's all a mystery. I want to make sure, okay, I've got her elbow in. There's where she tore by her hand, but it's back down. No one will know as long as you don't tell them. Obviously I didn't get enough glue stick around her head. Look at that. Let's wheel this out a little bit. And again, this is not something I'm putting in the mail or someone's going to hang it on their wall. So if everything's not perfectly down, it's okay. It'll be all right. Yeah, it'll be okay. Little wrinkle here. We'll just press it out. There we go. Okay, there's them. I like that now there's a little walking path. I think that looks good. And now her. Love her hat. But, you know, obviously outdoors, and why would that be hanging there? We'll have to think about that. Now, all of these faces are pretty much the same size. That's why this one with this with the smaller hairdo, I'm kind of looking at needing something similar. Maybe this one? Let's give it a try. Let's have a laugh. I don't want that scissor. Let's see. This one's a little bit smaller, has a little bit sharper of a point. So let's cut this one out. But I think having all these white glasses can turn into some kind of a, or some kind of a collage, or this could go good for faux postage. Wouldn't that be fun? I think so. Okay, so I think I want to just get the head, not so much like the shoulders. I want to keep the lady with the purple dress and a blue hat. I want to keep her shoulders. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut out his whole head, but then I'm going to try to cut it so that it looks like it's going under the hat. You know what I mean? So let's just see if we can do that. Cutting around his earring. Man probably has more jewelry than I do. Most everyone in this magazine is going to have more jewelry than I do. Okay. All right, let's see. Now, oh, I didn't need the shoulder. Let's just cut that part off. And let's see. Okay, so the neck is really here. The head is bigger. That's okay, though. It can be big-shouldered. And get a little pencil. And let's just draw where I think this hat is and cut that off. The red hair is going to show, but I'm cutting off virtually all the hair, so it should be okay. I mean, what have we got to lose, right? Okay, that's great. Let's get that stuck down. Yeah, it's great. Oh, I'm laughing at my own stuff. All right, let's glue that down. Everyone's got white glasses on now, except for the bird. We can draw some on the bird if we want to. Okay. All right. Okay. So now, the next thing I like to do to kind of marry all this stuff together is with a black Sharpie, start outlining. Now we'll see how long this black Sharpie happens to last. But these are the things that I think make it look less like I just slung some magazine pictures down and really have created a unified picture of some description. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want it to be sloppy. Am I getting off kilter here? I want you to be able to see, and yet I brought you as close as I could, so again you can see. So it's just kind of a balance. See, this collar belongs to the head, not the body. But I wanted that necklace. She has a very purposeful stance, doesn't she? See, already I'm liking it with the outlining. It to me, it makes a difference. And yes, I'm using a heavy Sharpie for this, and that's on purpose. The oil of Olay goes off the page, that's fine. I'd rather that, and I can trim it off, than having that elbow go into the seam, because with magazine art, it probably would never lay flat. Alrighty. Uh-oh. Got a little something happening here. All right. Now, I'm going to move this, so I realize you can't see everything, but that's quite a stretch for me, so I'm going to bring this up here and start working on the bird. I like little birds. I watch the birds. We have so many geese and ducks here, and it just is fascinating. Sometimes I just sit with a coffee and just watch them interact and fight with each other and get along with each other. And one seems to give off a hoot or a holler or whatever they do, honk, and they all take off. Just right on cue. Now the geese can be migratory, and many of them do fly south for the winter. But if they have enough food, they'll stick around, which I would have thought it was more in relation to being able to stay warm, but that doesn't seem to be it. And they jump right into that, well, they call it a lake here, but it's really a pond. They jump right in. When it's icy, you'll see them walking on the ice trying to see if there's a place they can stick their head through. Yeah, funny. Now I think what I'm going to do with her is I'm going to just, or him, or I'm going to just make like a chain. Could be hanging from a tree. Like that. What do you say? I think that works. All right. So we've got all the black outlining done. And I'm liking that real well. Now I pulled out, because one of the other things I like to do is I like to create a border. So I've got my little inks here. And I've got some new border stamps. Well, they're not stamps. What are they? They're stencils. And I got my stencils from PM Artist Studios. Love that. And so these are the borders that I picked out. And I was just going to see if any of these would work to go around an edge. Like this one maybe. And just kind of work it around. What do you think? It's kind of a leafy one. This one, very high tech, technical. I don't think it goes with a bird. This one is kind of like 70s flower power. They don't look 70s. And then this is raindrops, which I think would be okay on the edges, but oh boy, look at how that's going to cut into him. These might be a little too big for me. Let's see. Yeah, that's not going to work. Well, okay, we tried. That's all right. We're just going to have to do our own thing. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so let's think about what am I going to do for an edge? Okay, I'm going to start with my Sharpie. And I'm going to kind of think about the middle. Put a big circle, a little bit smaller, little bit smaller. Okay, and I'm going to turn my book. I'm going to make a, is this about half? Bigger circle, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. Are these perfect? No. But are they good enough? I think so. Okay, big circle, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. And one more. Oh, whoa, breaking up housekeeping. Okay. So across from here is here. Bigger, a little bit smaller, little bit smaller. Okay, let's get that as a start. And what I'm going to do is my dyeing white. Let's see. I think we can get away with it one more time. Looks good to me. It wants to die. I keep dragging it up and it keeps telling me, I don't want to do it anymore. My ink is run out. No, we're getting just a little bit more going here. Okay. I like that. And now, I think I'll take the old black Sharpie. This is really funny. Well, I think it is. Okay, and I'm just going to do regular old circles. Come right up and around here. So did you pull up a cup of coffee? Or your tea? Or my friends that are living in summer now? What you got? Lemonade? Something like that. I bought from Faygo. Now, Faygo is a, we call it pop here in Michigan, like a soda. That was from Michigan originally. I think it still is. And it's gotten smaller, but you can still find it here, there, in convenience stores or bodegas or party stores or whatever you like to call it. You can find it there more sometimes than you can in a grocery store, but they have a flavor called Rock and Rye. And I always think of it as kind of like the first Dr. Pepper, but it doesn't exactly taste like Dr. Pepper, but that's about as close as I can say how it tastes. And it's red, not red like red Kool-Aid or red pop, but it's almost like a cola color, but definitely has red going on in it. Trying not to get too much paint on the clothes. I don't really, I wear clothes that are designed for me to do this kind of work, but I don't want to smear it. And there we go. Okay, so we created a nice border. Doesn't that just do something for it? I think it does. Now, so we've got white glasses on everyone but the bird. I have a narrower white Posca, and maybe I can make some white glasses for the bird. I'll make them square since these are kind of fashion-y glasses, right? You can just maybe start to see them going that way. There. Now everyone's got white glasses on. Isn't that fun? Okay, now she has a pink blouse on her white jumpsuit. So I think I'm going to add some pink buttons. Her buttons are white. We'll put some on her belt. Versace, move over. I'm restyling you, buddy. And she has cufflinks. Pink cufflinks. She's already got pink earrings. So I think that looks sharp. Definitely. Okay. What else can we do with her? She's got earrings. She's got glasses. A barrette. Couple pink barrettes. Yeah. Couple pink barrettes. That's nice. Okay. Now, this one. All this is glittery gold. This, and you can't see the rest of the dress, with a trench coat on top and a tie. So, what can we do with this trench coat? Let's get some color on it. Let's go with some purple. So I can see this button and this button. That looks good. That looks better already. And I think I'm going to make this tie purple as well. And maybe like an Oxford shirt buttons on there. Cool. Very cool. What else? Maybe some decorative purple seaming on this collar. Yeah, I like that. There's more seaming like this. It's like where it's double stitched. I'm just making those lines. Yeah, that looks good. You can tell it's kind of like an all-weather coat. Oh, there's a button here. Well, that's got to be purple. Good, good. Then we've got these tennis shoes going on with some kind of a logo-y thing there. We'll make that purple. And then maybe a purple stripe around there. Good. Maybe you need purple earrings. Okay. Looking fine. Looking fine. Okay, let's see. Well, I'm tempted to do something with those white glasses, but the idea that they're all white is kind of the coolness of it, so I don't think I want to do that. What else? What else? It just, I mean, this white is just begging for more. Well, let's think of something very obnoxious, like orange. And let's start working on some of this seam work, like maybe on the edge of the cuff, like that. This way. Yeah, that's good. And put a orange dot. I guess that doesn't really show. And maybe some orange seaming here. Yep. It's kind of got those, I don't know if the clothes are just too big or if they're just big like dolman. It's the way that's going. And then there's a pocket here. And you can see the pocket there. Yep. I like that. How about just outline the belt? Yes. Very good. Very good. Maybe another necklace on top of the necklace she already has. Now, we know she's got pink. Let's do green. Since we don't have any green. Maybe she's got like a little choker. I'm going to leave that space. And then let's put, well, maybe a pink heart with all this pink. Like that. Polka dots? Sure. And you can have pink on your buttons. Like that. That looks snazzy. Little pink on your shoes. I don't think you'll mind. Yes? What do you think? I think it's pretty doggone cool. All right. So I thought, because this tree looks so sparse, and I've got my new little flowers that are just dying to be put somewhere, I thought maybe I would, and this is purple and pink on it, put a little flower in the tree. Let's do that. But it's not black outlined, so I'll probably need to do that as well. Okay, let's get this on. I think that's just fun. I'll put it this way. Looks good. Since I couldn't really jazz up the bird beyond white glasses, I'm going to take the book again and turn it around. Sorry. I think this will make it look like it belongs on the page more as well as everything else. Okay. Now let's get, I've got a, this is a finer black, and I'm back to the acrylic. Yeah, I think that helped that situation. Yep. Any other place that I think needs that? Maybe just the, oh, you know, you can just go on till you overwork it. No, I think that needed that. Yep. Yep. I'm thinking this needs it too. Good, good. Yep. That did a lot for me. Okay, what about this one? I'm thinking just maybe a little something. So again, it looks like part of the picture. And I think I'm going to go with a pink trim like that. Maybe, I know, maybe a purple, since the outfit's purple. Like that on the hat. Okay, let's get our black out here. Yes. Okay. Well now, let me know what you think in the comments. And since you've been here this long, go ahead and hit the thumbs up likes for me. Subscribe. My channel needs subscribers so much. Maybe you'd consider sharing my video on your Instagram page or your Facebook page. In the meantime, thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye.